Welcome back. Today we will look into how do we do independent sample t-test and analysis of variance, or another word to this is the test of difference using SAS Enterprise Guide. So I'm going to create a couple of scenarios to you. Okay, the first one is we want to look at how does different gender, the male and the female, look at premium. Do they look at premium similarly or differently? And then the other scenario here is we want to look at is there any difference in terms of the different age group when they look at premium. Okay, when they look at premium. So in our earlier tutorial when we use the Excel, we actually have already draw out the hypothesis. Okay, for the different tests that we do. Okay, so the first test that we want to do is we want to look at, okay, the first hypothesis is, let me just open up a new spreadsheet here. Okay, the first hypothesis is there any difference in premium by different gender? Okay, want to look at the first one. Is there anything by different gender? All right, and then just call this as hypothesis 1. Okay, so that you won't get confused. Okay, and then the second one that we want to do is we want to look at is there any difference in premium by different age? Okay, by different age, and we just call this as hypothesis 2. Okay, so using the data that we have in our SAS, we can actually run a quick analysis on the first hypothesis and the second hypothesis. So the first hypothesis is there any difference, a significant difference in premium by different gender? So this is actually a two-group comparison. Okay, this is actually a two-group comparison. This is actually the second hypothesis is actually a multiple group comparison. All right. Why do I say that it is a two-group and a multiple group? If you look at gender, all right, when we compare by different gender only categorized by two groups, right? When we use age, there is actually 4 groups, so it's actually a multiple group comparison. Okay, it's actually a multiple group. So in terms of analysis, we can actually identify the type analysis that we want to do. Okay, so I'll put here as this is the group, this is the hypothesis. Just make it into a nice table so that you can see much clearer the logic of the different analysis. Okay, so if I just put it like that, okay, much clearer, right? So when there is two groups, all right, you can actually use independent sample t-test. Okay, I'll just write down. So it's independent sample t-test. When there's multiple group, we use analysis of variance. Okay, or in the short form, ANOVA. Okay. So in SAS, you can actually run this very quickly, provided that you already have the data, clean data that you already have recorded and computed, in fact. All right. Just refresh this data so that it won't create any issues. Okay. Now, how do you do t-test? All right. On your SAS, okay, make sure you open up the data that you want to run. So this is the data. Okay. And then you can actually get it from here. All right. If you start off from fresh, let's say previously you've done it and then you close the software, it is always good if you can run it again. All right. Just click on the run button so that you will get the most updated data. All right. Okay. So I already run this. Okay. I already run this. So I already get the updated data. So this actually continued from what we had done earlier. Yeah. So I'll go to the data. Okay. On the task here, I just go and find ANOVA. Right, ANOVA, and then choose t-test. So just double click on t-test. So when you reach here, okay, you see that there is actually various type of t-test. For independent sample t-test, we will normally use a 2-sample t-test. Okay, I will not cover these 2 t-tests at this moment because there is our data does not present in this sense. Pair sample t-test, as I mentioned in the lecture, when you are comparing, for example, before and after. 1-sample t-test if you're comparing with your current group with a known group results. All right. So in this sense, we're actually cover 2 groups. We'll look into 2 groups, male and female. How do they look at premium? So it's actually a 2-sample test. All right. So just make sure you click on 2-sample, and then click on data. When you go to data, then you need to identify which one is the classification, which one is the analysis variable. So what you are actually analyzing is premium. So I will choose premium, put under analysis variable, and then you classified it by different gender. All right, by different gender. Now t-test only works when your group have only two group comparison like this. All right, so I'll put gender here, premium here, and then I'll just click run. All right, once you finish run the t-test, it will show you this. All right, so this is already the results of your t-test. Okay, so you can see here, you can get all the mean and standard deviation result here. So gender 1 and 2, so 1 male, 2 female. So this is the mean and standard deviation results here. Okay, and then this two table here is your t-test. Now before you read the t-test table, okay, first you need to read on the equality of variance table first. Okay, now what does it mean by equality of variance? We want to look at is the two group that we're comparing, are they actually equal or unequal? Okay, now in our Excel spreadsheet earlier, we actually did this comparison. Let me just show to you here. Okay, so when we do a variance, a two sample variance test, okay, we actually have two hypotheses that we want to assume. Okay, we actually have the null and the alternate hypothesis. The null hypothesis always says that when it is equal variance when the p-value is bigger than 0.05. All right, the alternate hypothesis mentioned that it is unequal variance when the p-value is smaller than 0.05. So what does it mean here is, when you have the variance result, you look at the p-value in order to know, are you looking at the equal variance or the unequal variance results? So let's go back to your SAS. So when you look into the equality of variance result here, you can see that the p-value here is actually bigger than 0.05. All right. When this is bigger than 0.05, you are actually looking at the equal variance here. Okay. This is your t-test result. If, let's say, your p-value is smaller than 0.05, means that you are looking at unequal, all right, which is the alternate hypothesis. So in this sense, it is actually bigger than 0.05, the p-value here. So we are taking this as our results. All right, we're taking the variance equal. So the t-value is 0.76, the p-value is 0.4526. Okay, so in another sense, when we read our hypothesis, okay, so what you're looking at here is the t-test. It shows the t-test here. It shows that we are using this, okay, because it is equal, shown by the value result here. So this is the result that we want. So the t-value is 0.76. The p-value is 0.4526. So in other words, when the p-value is smaller than 0.05, it is significantly different. All right. But here it shows that the p-value just now, okay, just put a new variable here, p-value. Okay, the p-value is 0.4526. 0.4526. Let me just double confirm, yeah? Yep, 0.4526. Let's just make it into a table. So we can say that the decision here is, because it's bigger than 0.05, so this hypothesis is rejected. Okay, so this is how you read your SAS t-test analysis. Okay. Okay, so just now we have looked into how does different gender look at premium. How about now by different age group and premium? Okay, so if we go to our Excel spreadsheet here, we can see that I put out a hypothesis here. We want to look at, is there any difference or significant difference in premium by different age? And we know that age is measured on a multiple group. So it's actually 4 group there. So we can actually run what we call as analysis of variance or ANOVA to know that is the deviation of this hypothesis rejected or accepted by looking at the p-value. Okay, by looking at the p-value. All right, so how do we do that? Go to your Excel, go to your SAS. Okay, you can actually choose this analysis called one-way ANOVA. Okay, so on this particular table here, I still go to one-way ANOVA, this interface. I will choose one-way ANOVA now. So I just double click on one-way ANOVA, and it will show me this particular interface. So like how you do your, we'll call that your t-test, you need to analyze what you want to analyze. So in this sense, I want to analyze premium. All right, so I'll put premium under dependent variable. And then for the independent variable, this is actually where the grouping come from. I will choose age scale and I put under independent variable like that. Okay, just by choosing the right variable like that, you can just click a quick run and you will get your ANOVA results. So just click run. So you will get to this one-way ANOVA results. So how do you read your one-way ANOVA results? You actually just have to look at this particular table, all right? This particular table, and you will just need the F value and the P value here, okay? So the F value and P value is here. So I will just take the P value for now is 0.3028. So coming back here, 0.3028. So it seems that the P value is bigger than 0.05. So mean to say that the hypothesis here is rejected. Or in other words, there is no significant difference in premium by different age group. All right. So this is how you do one-way ANOVA when you want to compare multiple group on the variable that you are testing on. All right.